Indeed.
Terrific. Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. It's 6:30 p.m., and this is a regular meeting of the Governing Board of the Catalina Foothills School District. On behalf of the Governing Board, I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. This meeting is open to the public for attendance both in person and through YouTube Live. In a few moments, I will read the rules of order for public comment at Governing Board meetings. If you wish to make a public comment remotely, you should have signed up using the Google form that's available under the YouTube Live description. If you don't see the link to the Google form, you should refresh the live stream. If you're attending in person and you wish to make a comment, please fill out the purple form that is available at the front of the room, request to address the Governing Board, and hand it to our Board Secretary, Ms. Sams. If there is a public hearing on the agenda and you wish to make a comment on that topic, you may sign up now or at any time prior to the opening of the public hearing. And if everyone would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, that would be wonderful. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 1.3 on our agenda is the rules of order for public comment at Governing Board meetings. The Governing Board welcomes public comments at its meetings by providing 2 opportunities for the public to address the board. If your topic of interest is not on the agenda, you may address the board during the public comments time slot near the beginning of the meeting. If your topic is on the agenda, you may speak just prior to the discussion of that agenda topic or during the public comment time slot. In the event there is a public hearing, the opportunity to speak will be reopened. Everyone wishing to make a public comment must submit the request to address the Governing Board form, which is required for the meeting minutes. If you're appearing remotely, that form is available below the YouTube link. And for those attending in person, the purple form again is at the back of the room. Speakers will be called upon when it is your turn to address the board. For those attending remotely, please remember to activate your camera and microphone prior to speaking. Each speaker has 3 minutes to address the board. The sound of a buzzer indicates the end of your 3 minutes. In the event of a large number of speakers, the board may need to limit that time so that we can conduct the business that is on the agenda. By law, the board cannot discuss, consider, or vote on topics that are not on the agenda. This assures the community that they are aware of the topics that will be discussed. If you wish to discuss a topic through written communication, board members' contact information can be found on the district's website. We appreciate the community's attendance and comments at this meeting. Item number 1.4 on our agenda is our super volunteer recognition. And for that recognition this evening, we turn it over to board member Gina Memmert.
Okay, we have such a large attendance tonight, so I'm going to kind of turn this way so that I can see more people. And Mr. Levy, you're welcome to come up now if you wish, and I can really embarrass you, or otherwise I invite you to come up a bit later.
He's going to wait.
He's going to wait. Fair enough.
We're going to talk about you anyway.
We are. We're still going to talk about you. Good evening, everybody. I am so excited to speak tonight about Robert Levy and the Catalina Foothills School District Super Volunteer Award. This is one of the highlights of our agenda when we have super volunteers to celebrate. It gives us the opportunity to just really lean into that spirit of Catalina Foothills, right? These volunteers who really truly go above and beyond to make our school district the wonderful place that we all know that it is. So tonight I have the privilege of recognizing and probably embarrassing Robert Levy. He and I only met for the first time 20 minutes ago, but he already strikes me as somebody who does not seek the spotlight and who truly does what he does for the love of it and for the love of our students. And that's what makes you a super volunteer. So if you come away with nothing else from this evening, come away with that this is a person who's dedicated to helping our students thrive. And I know that's why we're all here as well. So let me share a little bit with you about Robert Levy. I know that we always like to hear about our super volunteers. So he's been nominated by Stacy Gist at Espero Canyon Middle School. And that school, like all of our CFSD schools, is known for beginning and ending with our students. Everything is about our students. Our teachers and staff across the district, and of course at Esperero, are committed to ensuring every student is known, respected, and supported. And this evening's super volunteer, from everything I've heard, truly lives up to that mission in the most authentic way possible. Mr. Levy is a grandfather to one of our 8th grade students, and he's become far more than a supportive family member. He's become a fixture of the school culture during the most challenging of times during a middle schooler's day. Lunch period. Yes. Dreaded times, challenging times. I think I still have PTSD from all the school lunches that I volunteered at Orange Grove, actually. So several years ago, Mr. Levy donated Espero Canyon's first air hockey table. We've already had a conversation that perhaps it could be a foosball table the next time around, but air hockey. And that helped transform the student lounge into a place of connection and joy. Most recently, when it was decided that fundraiser proceeds would be used to purchase a second table, Mr. Levy quietly stepped in, he purchased that table himself, and he delivered it to the school. His goal was simple but profound. He wanted to ensure that the hard-earned fundraiser dollars could be redirected elsewhere to benefit students. His support does not end with providing the equipment. Mr. Levy volunteers at least twice a week, often staying through both lunch periods so the tables can remain open. The kids can only use them when there's an adult there. If you wonder why, you've forgotten our middle schoolers. When he walks through the cafeteria doors, from everything I've heard, students absolutely lights up. And in fact, when he shows up, students run to him. They know friendly competition is about to begin. And if a student doesn't have a partner, he plays with them. If they need encouragement, he coaches them. He actively participates. He engages. He builds relationships. And as all of us here tonight understand, the most positive adults we can surround middle schoolers with, the better. Sorry, the more positive adults we can surround middle schoolers with, the better. And Mr. Levy is one of the very best. Principal Stacy Gist put it like this: when Mr. Levy walks into the room, the energy shifts. He carries a quiet, positive presence and a smile that puts both students and staff at ease. He has a way of anchoring the room without ever seeking the spotlight. And in a recent interview, his grandson Chase, who I believe is sitting outside getting ready for soccer practice, Chase captured it perfectly. He is helpful, thoughtful, and always supportive, but doesn't get in the way. He does stuff for people for free and not to get attention, just because he knows people need help. Our mission across our entire Catalina Foothills School District is to nurture confident, capable, compassionate learners who feel a strong sense of belonging and pride. At Espero Canyon, Mr. Levy strengthens that sense of belonging every single week. He works behind the scenes to ensure our students have a better middle school experience. He gives his time, his resources, and his heart simply because he believes in offering fun, inclusive opportunities for all students. It's my honor to award you our Catalina Foothills School District Super Volunteer Award, Mr. Levy. Our school is better because of you, and our students are stronger because you choose to show up. Thank you. And at this point, I'd like to invite Stacy to come up and say a few words, and then after that, we will ask you to come up so that we can embarrass you. There's more.
Okay, this fits into there. A study published in the Journal of Early Adolescence and by Brigham Young University found a direct link between how much a student loves lunch and their overall sense of school belonging. The research indicates that when adults provide variety and structured activity options, student belonging increases. Participation in activities with peers during lunch was a significant predictor of whether a student felt they belonged. I am so proud to serve at Esperero, and I have been so proud to watch as our students, you guys might not like lunchtime, but I love lunchtime, twice a day. And I thank you, Mr. Lebby, for being there to offer additional things for kids because they truly love it and they are very competitive and you keep them safe and you make them feel seen. And that is so important to all of us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Gist. So, Mr. Lebby, I would invite you to come up. We have a lovely certificate for you, a copy of the letter that Ms. Gist wrote, and our famous keychain that says, "Together we make a difference." This is coveted in Catalina Foothills School District.
Kid's gonna be so excited.
They will. So thank you so much. We so appreciate you. You're welcome to say a few words if you wish.
I'll make it very short.
Good.
And that is, it's obvious, my wife and I truly appreciate public school and made a choice to continue that. Look, it's not real hard to play ping pong and air hockey. I mean, I am sure that I have more fun than the kids. But if this, what you just did for me, for air hockey and ping pong is an indication of the amount of work and effort you put into my kids' education. We are so proud of the work that you do, which is so much more important than ping pong and air hockey. But thank you all for this. This is very nice. Appreciate it.
Thank you. So much. You have to stay there for a photo. You have to stay for a photo.
I'd like to get a picture.
I am very touched. That was so touching.
What?
That was so touching. That was so touching. That was amazing.
That's lovely. He was up there today and saw him.
So funny. She's great.
Like Donkey Kong.
Thank you. Go to your soccer match. Thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure. And thank you, Principal Gist, as well. We appreciate your comments as well. Gina, wonderful. Thank you so much. That was so touching.
Apparently the temperature was set at Eden's temperature.
Oh. Okay. And I didn't say a word, so that's good. Okay.
I
Our
love those
next,
star awards.
they're the best.
Volunteer awards. They're the best.
They're the best. Item 2.0, or just 2, on our agenda is our public comment time. I have not received any purple sheets from anyone attending in person, and the last time, and there's no one signed up to speak online as well. So, we have no public comments this evening. Okay, that brings us to our consent agenda items. Does a board member have an item that needs to be pulled for further discussion, comment, questions? anything of the like, items 3.1 through 3.9 are on our consent agenda this evening. No. Okay? Then may I have a motion, please?
You may. I move that the governing board approve consent agenda items 3.1, the governing board February 10th, 2026, regular meeting minutes as presented. 3.2, the expense voucher memorandum as presented. 3.3, the field trip request memorandum as presented. 3.4, the fundraising request memorandum as presented. 3.5, the personnel memorandum as presented. 3.6, the acceptance with gratitude of the gifts and donations memorandum as presented. 3.7, the guaranteed maximum price award to Core Construction for the Steel Drums and Nurses Office renovation project at Catalina Foothills High School in the amount of $751,851.50 as presented. 3.8, the additions of Cox Media Group LLC, Reddit Inc., Meta Platforms Inc., and Spotify to the sole source vendor list for fiscal year 2025-2026 as presented. And 3.9, the award of RFP 26-02-31 audit services to Heinfeld Meach & Co., PC, for a one-year contract effective from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027, at the cost of $52,475 for the first year, with the option to renew annually for up to 4 additional years, with an approximate 3% increase per year for each subsequent term, as presented.
Thank you. There's been a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 4.1 on our agenda is under the category of unfinished business. This is a second reading of approval of revisions to policy DA, fiscal management goals. That means it is an action item on for this evening. And for this agenda item, we turn to Dr. Bartlett.
Thank you very much. If you remember, at the first reading, we talked about the revisions include update to the policy title and several minor edits that align this policy with current best practices. And we reviewed the first reading revisions, and after the first reading, there was only one minor revision that was requested, and it was a rewording of the first sentence, and it now reads, "The governing board recognizes that the proper and prudent management of the district's public funding has a foundational effect on district operations." So that was changed. Other revisions that we discussed at the first reading include the title change. The first bulleted statement was reworded to ensure that the budget development aligns with the district's strategic direction and plan. The second bulleted statement, the term monetary income, was replaced with revenue. The third bulleted statement was revised to clarify that the board will guide and monitor expenditures to achieve successful student outcomes. The fourth bulleted statement was updated to include a focus on effectiveness and transparency. And the fifth bulleted statement was revised to state that the district will maintain a per-student expenditure level that provides for the needs of all students. And then finally, at the bottom, the adoption date has been revised to this evening's date, if this is approved.
Thank you. Thank you for rewriting that first sentence. I think it just flows much better.
It does flow.
Any questions about these updates that were carried over from last week to this week? There was,
No.
it was really implementing the changes that we spoke about last week. If there's nothing further in terms of this policy, I will take a motion.
I'd be happy to make the motion. I move that the governing board approve revisions to policy DA, fiscal management goals, as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve agenda item 4.1. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 4.2 is also a second reading carryover from our meeting 2 weeks ago. It is the approval of revisions to policy and regulation DB, DBR, annual budget, schedule, preparation and planning, format, and posting and submission. Bartlett.
Thank you. As we discussed at the first reading, that the Section D of the policy manual has been reorganized and updated to ensure that the related content is grouped more clearly and consistently. So as part of that, the information found in the policies DBC and DICA has been consolidated into this policy that we're going to discuss tonight, DB, the annual budget. After the first reading of this policy on February 10th, the word "and" was included in 2 places in the title of the policy. So instead of saying preparation/planning, it now says planning, preparation and planning. Other revisions discussed at the first reading include that language from the policies related to the annual budget has been moved into policy DB. It streamlines the budget-related guidance into a single policy for easier use. Again, the title has changed. Under schedule, the full paragraph under schedule section was transferred from the former policy DVC. The format section has been updated to align with Arizona revised statutes. The posting and submission section has been updated to reflect requirements in ARS 15-905, and it requires the district to post the most recent Auditor General profile on the page. And as we discussed, our most recent one is from 2021. We don't get one of these every year. It's on a rotating basis. And it also requires us to submit the annual budget to the Arizona Department of Education using the appropriate forms. And then under the legal references, these legal references have been added to the end of the policy, but most of these references are new to policy DB, but 2 were previously included in policies DBC and DICA. And then, of course, cross-references. All applicable cross-reference policies have been added to policy DB as well. So that's the policy DB.
Why don't we pause there and see if there are any questions? Comments about that? It was pretty
Nothing
straightforward.
further from last
Okay.
time.
Then the
me.
regulation.
Yes, so the regulation DB is new.
Yeah.
This is all new wording, but it's consolidating those other policies, and this is, of course, the regulation is always the how. So the policy is what, and this is how we implement that. So after the first reading of the regulation, revisions were made to increase readability and clarity. And I've highlighted the changes in yellow for you on that, so that it was easy for you to recognize. So again, the word "and" was added to the title. In letter G, we added before the date of adoption, so that it now reads, the governing board shall not later than July 5th and not less than 10 days before the date of adoption. So that was revised. In letter G, the wordings in numbers 2 and 3 was revised for readability and clarity. So, so we said, furnish in electronic format the proposed budget and summary of the proposed budget for the budget year for the superintendent of public instruction and the county school superintendent. We removed some words and made it clearer. And then the adopted budget shall be submitted to the Department of Education, and the department shall prominently display the district's adopted budget on the website maintained by the department. And the district shall post a link to the Department of Education's website where the district adopted budget is posted. And Jacqueline
question.
pointed out the prominently that I've
No, no.
changed that.
Right, sorry, I didn't mean to. It's not, it's not changed here?
It's
but
not.
It is now
It is,
changed?
yes,
Okay.
It also carries over to I.
Yes, I've got those.
Can I ask you, for some reason, my mind is bending over that. I know we talked about this last time. Not later than July 5th,
Yep, right.
and not less than 10 days before the date of adoption.
Yep.
So, because the budget has to be passed by the legislature by July 1st? Oh, June 30th, okay, June 30th. So that's obviously, so what if they pass the budget on June 30th?
We're working back from when it has to be submitted. Aren't you?
Say that again?
Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm confused about what that means
So this is the proposed budget. So we have to do a proposed
This is
budget.
proposed,
Okay.
so we have to submit it.
So it's not connected to when it says the date of adoption, that means our adoption? We're talking about the state budget on July 1st?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
And so we have to submit the budget by the 15th,
Right.
right? So the 5th is the latest we can have that meeting, because we need to approve it by the 15th. So the 5th is the latest that we can have that meeting. But
Okay.
we could decide that we're going to have it earlier,
Okay,
right,
Yeah,
than
so no later
that. So
than-
that's why it's no less than 10 days, because we have to allow 10 days for the public
okay, that's right.
um,
Because of our
posting.
Public hearing.
of it,
Okay, got
right?
it.
So we could decide to post on like July 1st, for the sake of example.
Okay.
And we could then vote on it July 10th. I mean,
Okay.
It has to be the 10 days posted on
has
the
to be
website.
10
It has to be
days.
10 days.
Yes.
So this
Yeah.
isn't one of the very rare exceptions for, most things only have to be posted 24 hours before, or, I mean,
This is 10 days.
It's
The
10
proposed
days,
budget
yeah.
has to be for public view.
right,
yeah.
okay,
And
thank
so
you.
that's why we have both those dates in there, because we could decide that we want to post it earlier than July 5th, for
Right.
example. Does that help?
Yes,
Sure.
So in letter I, number 2, we also reworded that for readability. And it's the department shall prominently display the district's adopted budget on the website maintained by the department. The district shall post a link to the Department of Education's website where the district's adopted budget is posted. That's changed, yes.
Typo.
Yep. Yes.
I knew you said that.
In letter J, revisions were made that removed redundancy and improved the readability. So you can see the things that were added, those are highlighted in yellow, and we have a apostrophe S on education's website. So the district shall electronically upload the hearing notification and summary via the school finance budget system at ADE for posting on the ADE website. If the budget and the proposed budget and notice are posted on the Department of Education's website, the board shall file an affidavit with the superintendent of public instruction within 30 days after the date of the information is posted. So we took off some on the website.
and the apostrophe after education
Yeah,
has been,
we've got that.
thank you.
It's just improved the readability there.
Yes.
And then on letter K, in 2 sections, A and B, they were revised again for clarity. So we've removed some wordiness. And that now reads at least 90 days before a proposed override election, which is held on the first Tuesday following the first Monday in November, the district shall order the election to present proposed override budgets to voters. The district shall also prepare an alternate budget without the override increase in the event that voters reject the proposed override budget. And then the second one, at least 35 days before an override election, distribute the informational report prepared by the county superintendent to households where qualified electors reside. We just reordered those words.
On that one, though, Denise, can you just, we missed that the district will distribute. So date for budget hearing on following year's budget, letter B, at least 35 days before an override election, distribute. Should that be the district shall distribute? To make it clear who distributes the information?
We can put in the district.
District shall order. Yeah,
So, at least 35 days before an override election, the district shall distribute the informational report prepared by the county superintendent to households where qualified electors reside.
Thanks.
And then in letter L, number 1, section D was revised to remove unnecessary words. We just removed about the district off of that. All other revisions remain the same. And again, this really sets out the order of budget preparation, posting, submission, all of those. So it's just the how we're going to do our budget posting and preparation.
just in time.
Just in time, we're getting close, yes.
Is best practice to try to beat that date by a few days?
Well,
It's on the 15th.
we're always waiting on the legislature.
Sure.
And it's rare that they come out before the 30th.
Okay.
So it's rare that we are going early. Sometimes it's right up to, I mean, there are times when we've had to do two budgets, right?
Yep.
One on
Yep.
Yep.
a preliminary one that we think is gonna happen
Yeah.
on old forms, and then a new one that comes out because the legislature hasn't approved their budget. So we're always waiting on them.
But this is also why we start our straw budget process so early. So, in
Correct.
just a couple of weeks, we'll be starting to review, or a month maybe it is. We'll
No,
be starting,
About 2 weeks.
I think it is, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's coming very quickly.
We'll be starting to review the budget so that
Yeah.
we can build up to that and have enough time to really go in depth, which is very, very helpful. If we had to wait to do that until we had the information from the state,
Oh, yeah.
We can't do
our
that.
timeline would be so compressed that we wouldn't be able to do our due diligence. So I think the process, and although it creates a huge amount of work for Dr. Bartlett and her staff, I think it is the only way to do it responsibly.
Yes.
The dates sort of paint us into a corner if during that 10-day process,
Oh, yeah.
someone in the public brings up something that would require changes.
Well, that's what the hearing is for, right? So we hold the hearing, and that's when they're able to bring that forward.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it compresses
Doesn't give us a
that
lot of
that
time
much
to
more.
respond.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So do these two policies, DA and DB, those two are the whole process?
Yes.
There's not additional policies in the Ds?
There are additional policies, but they
But
don't
not-
relate to the annual budget.
Okay. Good. Okay. Any other questions or comments before we call for a vote on this agenda item? Okay.
You ready
Would
for a
someone like to
motion?
make a motion?
I would.
Right.
I move that the governing board approve revisions to policy and regulation DB-R, annual budget, schedule, preparation and planning, format and posting and submission as amended.
Right. Thank you. There's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second having been called for item 4.2. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Our new business this evening is item 5.1 on our agenda. It is consideration of revisions to policy DIE and regulation DIER, audits, financial monitoring. This is a first reading, so we'll come
Correct.
back in 2 weeks. Dr. Bartlett?
So this is another D policy,
Right. Yep.
But it relates to the audits and financial monitoring. There were just minor edits to both the policy and the regulation to improve readability. In policy DIE, we removed the June 2016 reference to the Office of Management and Budget, the OMB compliance settlement, to ensure that the policy points to the current version used for audit and compliance purposes. And then the headings were also added to delineate the content of the paragraphs that follow. So those headings were not there. And of course, we inserted the word governing before board in 2 different places. So that was the policy. And then, of course, the new adopted date will be March 3rd, which is next week.
All right, let's deal with this one first. If anyone has any clarification needed, questions?
Just on DIE, sorry?
Yeah.
Okay,
Before we go into the
before we go to the
regulation.
regulation. Okay, fair. No questions from me, sorry on that one.
I assume, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead, I have no question.
I assume that the references in the first paragraph to the Single Audit Act amendments and the current U.S. Office of Budget Compliance, the OMB, those are still the way these
Correct.
this is still correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay, and if everyone's comfortable to move on to the
Yeah.
regulation, let's do it.
Okay. Regulation DIE was updated to align the district's audit and financial monitoring terms with current federal and state requirements. So United States was added before generally accepted auditing standards in 3 different paragraphs. So we added that United States. Governmental audition standards issued by the U.S. Comptroller General, uniform guidance, as applicable, was added in 3 paragraphs. But the most significant change is in that first, the first bulleted paragraph under the requirements for proper management. And that reflects our, the change of the single audit threshold from 750,000 to $1 million. We never updated our policy when it was at 500,000.
Okay.
So it went from 500,000 to 750. It's currently 750,000, even though our policy still stated the 500,000. But now the new threshold is $1 million in federal grants expended during the fiscal year. And this applies beginning with fiscal year '26. So the new threshold is at that $1 million for this year.
What does that mean in plain language, these thresholds? How does that,
Well,
how
it
does that
means
impact, how do these thresholds impact our business?
we don't have any federal grants that reach $1 million.
Okay,
But if we did,
okay.
I mean, we had some that reached 500,000, right? And so then the audits became
I see.
more regular with that. But we don't really have any that reached the $1 million mark.
So, laddering on top of that, the way it's currently written implies that it's not any one single grant, that it's a
Yeah.
cumulative
Right.
amount, which is correct, isn't it?
Correct.
The cumulative?
Yes.
So do we have latitude to clarify this first paragraph? Because I think would benefit from, to use Amy's words, some plain English here, to make it clear that that is a cumulative total. And also, I think the way that that bullet point goes on, where it says, whenever the district expends less than $1 million in federal grants, so a cumulative total of $1 million in federal grants in a fiscal year, starting in 2026 audits, and then we're missing something like, or $750,000 for earlier fiscal years, something like, I don't quite understand. We're missing like some words and some punctuation marks there, I think. We have some random semicolons and commas. So if we could just relook at that first paragraph, please.
It's a closing parentheses.
Or closing parentheses or something. Yeah, putting the 750 in parentheses might be helpful to your point, Tom.
You've got an open there,
Yeah, where's the?
needs a close after fiscal years.
Fiscal year
Yeah.
2026.
But anyway, there's something there, but the part about it being a cumulative total, that's the more substantive comment that I have,
Okay,
Um,
cumulative total.
to make that very clear, because given the way costs are going, I
Sure.
can see us getting to that cumulative total, to be quite honest. And so I think we'd benefit from being super clear on this policy.
I'll bring that back.
Brianna, didn't mean to interrupt you on the first bullet point, but.
No, that's just the most significant change. Again, it's in that first paragraph, and then again, it's down in the bulleted statement at the bottom of page 57, whenever the district expends $1 million a fiscal year, again, previously $750,000, it's that same place. And it says, they've added some language about the governmental auditing standards, the certified public accountant, and the compliance to a single audit. So those were just to clarify who and what are going to be conducting that.
And I'll carry on with my comments. So I'd recommend that in that last paragraph where we also go through the 1 million and the 750, that we carry those changes through. And then I was, in the second bullet point, the first sub-bullet point, at the end of there, it says 2 CFR Part 200 Subpart F. What does that mean
Code of
or
Federal
refer to?
It's Code of Federal Regulations. It's the statutory reference.
And it's just referred to as CFR? We don't
Huh.
spell that out or anything? Okay,
That's right.
thanks for clarifying that.
Law school education comes in handy
There you
sometimes.
go.
Once in a while.
Love it. And then I'm curious to understand if we do trigger an audit, what does that process look like?
Well, we go through audits all the time. So
Yeah.
they come in and examine all of the financial statements that and they do usually a random sampling, but I would imagine if they're going to do the single audit on this, they would do every expenditure that totaled up to that $1 million. And they would make sure that we have it coded correctly, we have expended it from the correct accounts, and just ensure that we have met all the compliance.
And when we've been audited in the past, how have those been?
Fine, we're audited every year. So, not for this specific thing, but we are audited every year, and those audits have come back virtually clean. I mean,
So when we look at our line item budget, if we had a federal, we have a section on federal grants, if we have a federal
Yes.
grant, that's what would tie into.
yes. We have our Title I
Yeah.
grant, which is a federal grant.
And I just want to make a closing comment that the fact that, of course, we are audited on a regular basis for various reasons. The fact that they typically come back so clean is just such a credit to you and your finance department. So a lot of hard work, a lot of close attention to detail. So
Yes.
kudos and thank you very much for your close oversight of that process.
You're welcome.
And did we not just approve the accounting firm for a
Yes,
contract?
Einfeld Mead.
Just-
Yeah, yeah.
I've got a couple of things. One, and I think this is just formatting, but the third bullet.
Yes, is a circle.
It can be whatever shape
Instead
it
of a
wants to be.
square, I
But
know
I think
that.
it actually belongs one whole tab back. Because
Oh, you're
it's
right.
the alternative
You're
to
right.
under $1 million or $1 million plus.
Right.
You're right. That is a good catch.
And then just reflecting a little bit of my ignorance in how some of these grants work, it's worded to say whenever the district expends less than $1 million or expends. What is do we get federal grant money in advance of, like, is there a scenario in which we could receive that money but not expend it during that same
Yes.
fiscal year?
Yes.
And so this is
then
specific
there's
to
carryover.
expense.
Yes,
So you can carry over, not trigger this,
correct.
and have it for the next year?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
just wanted
expended
to,
in that fiscal year.
okay, so that's why we're talking expend, not receive.
Correct.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Good question. This will come back for a second reading.
Well, so any questions that might come to you in the middle of the night?
That would be me.
Write them down. Anything else on this policy, anything in 5.1, the regulation or the policy? Okay. We will see this again in 2 weeks.
Tuesday.
This coming week, never mind, in 1 week. Our second reading is we have a meeting next.
Right.
Because of spring break, we have a meeting next Tuesday as well. Mark your calendar, Tom. Okay. For discussion and reports this evening, this is a report on the Pima County School Board Superintendent Collaborative Meeting, which I attended along with Jacqueline and Tom and Eileen and Dr. Bartlett, which was on last Monday, the 16th of February. And it was, again, the collaborative meetings are meetings of school boards and superintendents throughout Pima County. To those who wish to attend, not everybody comes. But there was usually a pretty good showing.
There is.
And there's always a different topic. And last week's was, we had a presentation by Pima Community College chancellors and what they're doing to engage with high school students. So would either of you like to report further on that?
Go ahead.
I mean, I brought everything home and
Me too.
tortured my 10th grader with, look at all the opportunities at Pima. I mean, I was impressed by just the breadth of opportunities available and all of the different ways that they seek out opportunities to get in front of different audiences and just figure out how they can best serve their audiences. So that was, it was really, really informative.
thought it was interesting, they had several points of discussion about career and technical education classes too. And my mind, of course, went to how does that work
Right.
with our JTEC programs? Are they in competition with each other or do they work together? And I don't know that I came away with a good answer.
Well, they have some of the same programs, but
Okay.
of course, that's
Right.
post-secondary, right? So it's after they would have taken JTED, except the aerospace. So aerospace, which is a very big program at Pima Community College, that is in conjunction with the Pima JTED.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, our students have gone and visited the airspace center down at, it's way down south.
I used to drive by it all the time.
Yeah. I was taken in an age of declining enrollments in college programs, their enrollment is actually increasing exponentially. So the desire for our students to begin at a community college, or students to begin at a community college, I think is growing.
Well, it saves so much money. I mean, even when I was doing my undergraduate degree, I knocked out some of my classes at Pima at night because it was so much less expensive and I could just finish that much faster as well. And they make it very easy to transfer those credits over.
You made a good point that you're not sacrificing quality because U of A wouldn't accept credits that weren't preparing the students for that. But I think that was a good thing for them to call out, that just because you're taking this course here, that doesn't mean it's any less of a course.
Right, I did math and Spanish at Pima at night because I wanted a smaller classroom and more attention.
Well, and now they have the program, the Pima Cats, was it called
Yeah,
Pima
a
Cats?
bridge
Yeah.
program.
Yeah, a bridge program. So starting at Pima and bridging into the U of A, I think is a really innovative way to get kids in and get them to graduation as well, right? Because lots of students start a post-secondary education and don't finish. So I think that's a really nice opportunity for them to support students to finish a program.
I don't remember what the statistic was that they cited, but I recall whoever was doing this part of the presentation saying that their conversion to four-year graduation rates was pretty high. And, you know, I read in the paper today or yesterday that U of A is considering requiring students to live on campus the first year
Oh.
as I assume part of a retention, you know, to kind of, and so it was interesting to me to hear that, you know, Pima's kind of, either they don't have on-campus students, but they are really capturing, you know, trying to create, and they talked about this too, trying to create smaller communities within, you know, the colleges and the different campuses. And it was impressive. I was very impressed with it.
Well, and the class size at a community college is going to be much different than at a university.
Right.
So I think that's part of the draw, is that they get some more personalized attention.
And they're rolling out their first bachelor's program.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yes.
So
Too.
What's it
pretty
in?
big deal. It's a early childhood.
Education.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for us,
Yeah,
really great.
yeah, since we have that program. Living on campus, there's a lot of research that's been, I mean, it happened over time, but there's a new body of research that's come out about the strong positive correlation between living on campus the first year and graduating from
Yes.
school, so staying in school and
Yes.
graduating from school. And now a lot of colleges are moving to the first 2 years, having to live on campus for that reason. So, and it's nice to see this research come out. It's nice for it to be evidence-based and to understand that that's something that, you know, has greatly affects positive outcomes. So,
Yeah, it was a good meeting,
Was.
pretty well attended,
love it.
and we got swag.
Even better.
Always fun. That was good. I always enjoy those meetings.
Thank you all for representing us so well. Appreciate it.
Delightful. Item 6.2 is our standing item that allows us to discuss any governmental activity happening in state, local, federal, that might affect our work.
Something that is, I hadn't heard, but they want to change the date for the state assessment. You know, right now.
Not for like, for when?
So right now, we do all of our testing in April.
Yes.
And for K-8, they're going to push it back to the end of April, beginning of May.
No.
Oh.
Well, I think some,
Is that good or bad?
well,
It's a pain.
So busy.
it's, it's going to give students more time to learn the content, because right now, when you assess them at the beginning or end of March, they haven't really had that full second semester or the last quarter of instruction. So that is moving kind of through the legislature now, the committees.
Is it expected to pass?
It's up in the air. I mean, it's got bipartisan support, so it could. I mean, as superintendents, we did speak out against moving the high school testing later because we didn't think that was going to be beneficial to them. But the K-8 testing move back, we thought would be okay.
How do you, as a group of superintendents, get a message up to the legislature?
So we have a representative. So we had our meeting last Thursday, and a representative, Rebecca Beebe, who is an advocate and through ASBA.
Oh, okay.
She comes and speaks to us,
Oh, okay, good.
and then we send our message through her.
Okay, so she's the lobby arm.
Yes, she was
ASBA.
seeking,
Okay,
she was
good.
seeking input on several of the bills. But that was the most noteworthy, that would have a direct impact to us immediately. It would, of course, it wouldn't be for this year. And of course, the state assessment is going to change. So there's an RFP out for a new state assessment.
Oh, gosh.
So
I hope we fixed our policy to not say a name of
we did not,
assessment.
yes, it just says the state assessment.
Okay, good.
And
We
they're
learned
not
that lesson.
talking about moving it so late that it would affect when we end school.
No, no.
Okay.
I think what happened is they did the dates so that the testing company could get the results back. And so there's a statute where third grade reading scores have to come back before the end of the school year. So I think that's why they moved the testing to when it is now.
How would they get it back before then? If the test is going later?
They will have to, third grade usually comes in before the school, no other score comes in.
Right,
They come in
they have to.
in June.
Yeah,
Because, for third grade reading.
interesting.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's lots of other education-related bills flying
There
around up there,
are.
but to my mind, there's no point in discussing them yet because
There are lots.
I don't know what's actually likely to even get through. Same with budget stuff.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And you're the one that's on top of every bill.
I haven't
Nothing.
seen anything about that lately. But they'll be headed to I think this is, last week was crossover week, so this week is floor. So they'll be back in committee next week.
That's when I start paying attention. If I
Right.
do it too early, the blood
Right.
pressure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And do you get all of those updates? Are you all getting updates from ASBA? on
Yes.
those?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Anything else under item 6.2? Agenda planning tomorrow is Gina's agenda planning. We're meeting remotely at 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
You have the packet already.
Mhm.
We have the packets already.
And you'll send the dial-in details?
Pardon me? Yes.
Send the dial-in details?
Yes, I
Thank
will
you.
send you the login.
Thank you, thank you.
Our next meeting, I'm glad you reminded me, so our next meeting, our schedule is a little bit unusual in the next few
Yes.
weeks because we had to adjust meetings for spring break. So we're not at the second and fourth Tuesdays of March. We're at
First and third.
first and third weeks.
Yes.
Okay, so we have these 2 weeks in a row, then we get a 2-week break again. And then what,
Yes.
we'll have 5? We'll have 3 weeks then, before the April meeting, probably, sounds like. It's on a calendar, we can all figure that out, but most importantly, that we know we're back
Correct, there's a
1
3-week
week
break.
from,
Here in a
one,
week.
1 week from today.
You're right, and then there's the 3-week
And
break.
then there's a- Okay,
Can I just clarify, please?
sure.
We have
don't we have some executive meetings coming up?
We do.
Did you just say that?
Yes.
No, I didn't say it. Did you?
Next Tuesday, we
Oh.
do have an
Is it
executive session.
before or after?
It's after.
It's a relatively short meeting, so we put it on the calendar for after.
Okay, I'm just gonna
I
throw that
figured
out.
that was, I mean, my general theory has been that it's easier not to have to come too early for those of us who work
Yeah, no,
regular
that's
business
great. I
hours.
just,
Yeah.
when it's, and so that's on the 3rd, we have the
Yes.
executive session, correct?
Yeah, you should have a week board at a, what's it called?
Yeah,
Board
yeah,
board
at a glance, yeah.
glance.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, because I know we're coming up to a whole slew of those with budgets
Yes,
and
we are with all
stuff,
the
so-
budget meetings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The other reason we moved the meetings was last year we had to have 3 in April because of the compensation package. So we were trying to prevent
Start early,
that,
start earlier.
having 3 meetings in April.
You don't like that,
can
Tom?
I like you guys. I mean,
All right. There's nothing further. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that
wait,
we.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
I'm not quite ready.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, maybe I'm just blind here, but I'm not seeing. We could take it offline, but in tomorrow's agenda planning, can we just review the exec sessions? Because I'm not seeing the,
On the 3rd at the last, on the last bullet, on the 3rd.
yeah, I'm seeing another 3rd, but can we just go through them maybe tomorrow in agenda
bet.
planning, just to make sure that we have
And if
all
there's
the ones that
anything
we
that's not
need?
clear, we'll clarify them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Betty,
I move that we adjourn.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Been a motion and a second that we adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0, and we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
That's nice we have time for it too.
So, did you see that
Is it-
Blake Morlock